What's up, everybody? It's time for the weekend review. And right now, we are just coming off of a nice little pullback into Labor Day. And we've pulled back into a serious spot, guys. So I wanted to talk about this. This could be a potential low, if not here, maybe a little bit lower. Otherwise, this thing's in for it. So we are in a really important spot right now, and I think we should just go over it. So ultimately, this is the leg to the all-time high. And what happened here is on 2 weeks ago, on this week right here, I guess it's May 12th, it looks like, we came down and we talked about in the weekend review that you wanted to watch 57.40. Well, I think it was China tariff news. They popped open, back tested 40, and they ran. Okay, it's perfect. All right, so then we come back, we played this area up here, the 59.82, and they come back down. And now we're playing 57.85.25. So this is the weekly leg to the all-time high. This is a beautiful test. We played it great. We popped 100 points on Friday. Now, is this the low? I don't know. I think it could be. We could technically come a little lower, and I wouldn't be too fairly upset. But there's a couple setups here that I want to show you guys, and then basically where we need to hold and like why it's important. Okay, so this is a big chart, and I'll just kind of remove this so you can see this. The reason why this 57.40 is so important. This is the leg down here, guys. Play this top down perfect, right? And then for them to turn around and play this one is pretty crazy. Oops, excuse me. The 58. I mean, it was literally almost the low tick. And so, we very much, now they've cleared the upside, and they cleared the upside intraday. I think it is possible that they can push higher, but the risk to reward on it moving lower is really cheap, and let's go over that right now. So this is the RTH daily chart, and this is the top down. This is 58.28. This is the top of the tariff leg that took us down. It went like this, okay? This is the next area right here, 53. We got super close to it on Friday at the lows. We actually played the 57 weekly, and they popped. So this area, this level is still technically untested. So I guess what I'm saying is if we swept the low, played 53, I think this level is still very much untested. They could wick everybody out and get some liquidity and still play this level. The highs have now been tested at 57.82. This is if they hold this area, we could potentially push up higher. Okay, so below this area, we can poke down into the 57.11 or 56.88.75 area. It is possible. Underneath the 56.74, you got a big problem. Okay, so the areas that we want to stay above are 57.53, right, and then 58.28.75, and the next one is 58.89. Okay, and then we do need to watch for 12 and 04 because, or I'm sorry, here 12, 04 is untested as well, but we'll talk about that at 12.25 right here. Okay, so these are big levels. We could come up here and play this area. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the 4-hour chart. So on the 4-hour chart, you can see we really pulled down into this area here. Now, if you recall, I was talking about how they could come a little bit lower and fill this gap. Well, this is the spot down here at the 57.0350 and into the 56.9350. There's two untested 4 hours down there. There actually is some dailies at 57.11 and 56.88.75. So right in here, you've got daily levels intertwined with these 4-hour levels. And so I do think this area can play. However, we've talked about that there was a weekly right here at the 51, and there was, at the 57, excuse me, and we also have another weekly at 57.82. So here's my thoughts on this. If we're truly coming off of a weekly right here at the lows, there was a daily at 53 we missed directly below here. And so, we know that we're really into a pocket of heavy support. If we pull back in here to this 57.74, this is a 4-hour leg. This finally made a leg at the end of the day. And if they come down in here, this is technically untested. If they want to resume this up move, this would be a great place to do it and then regain the 57.8250. I believe 57.83 was also the open, of Friday. So that would be coming down here, basically sweeping the low, and playing this 4 hour, because the RTH session didn't get that low. So here, check this out. I'll actually show you this. This is kind of cool. So down here is the 57.74. So this is the 4 hour, 1 hour level. During the cash session, if they come down here and play this 57.74 and get back above 57.82, which is the weekly and the previous open, this would technically create a failed breakdown on the RTH side, and then this could go, getting us right back above this weekly level. So I thought that was interesting, but even that aside, that's the same thing here. We're going to want to get back above this weekly level right here, the 57.82. Okay. Right now we are sitting on the monthly level at 58.0850, and there's another weekly here, but this is a giant area right here. This 58.47 area. This is a massive 4 hour area that has a lot of resistance. Really, in order to get any higher than this, we need to get above the weekly at 58.6475. That is the only way that they're going to continue to move this up. If they do get above that weekly, which is also the previous weekly value area low at 58.61, and there's a naked point of control there at 58.63, there's going to be a lot of resistance here, a lot. But if they can pop that, they come into the next untested area spot, which is basically 59.04 into 59.12. There's some singles there. There's a weekly there at 07. This is a big spot. Okay, huge. And then above that, you've got 59.23 4 hour and 59.30 ETH daily. And then ultimately, your last untested spot is the 59.46 4 hour until you continue your push up. But really, what we need to monitor to be above or below is going to be the 58.6475. This is going to be huge for them to get above next week. We also have this ETH daily here that you could, kind of preclude things at the 58.56. But I honestly like the 64 because you have the previous week's value area at 61. This would really just kind of push you back into this massive 2-week balance area. And then once you get back into this, I mean, look at all the activity there. This is a huge spot, and really, if buyers can kind of regain control in this area, this is just going to pump this thing higher. So this is going to be a big area for us to look at. Probably would be a good idea to, section this off. There we go. All right, now we know the area to look for. So that's awesome. So there you go, guys. And then below this area, it gets nasty, like we talked about. Okay, so and then really below this spot is kind of all hell breaks loose. So we won't even get into that right now because I don't think that's necessarily going to happen by the time I see you guys again. But I think this is a good place to start. If they're going to hold, they really should need to hold now. And if they come down here and try again, then we know we have to get back above the 51 essentially to continue to move higher. And really it is the 57 from this touch here. So from a 4 hour perspective, kind of gives you a good idea of the areas you need to look for. So I hope this helps everybody out. Have a good one. Let's make it a profitable week. Cheers.